Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is a video lecture series on switching systems. Okay, this is the third lecture. In this third lecture, we'll be continuing with the gradings. Okay, in the last lecture, we have understood the principle of grading. In this lecture, we'll be discussing design of progressive grading. Okay, how we can design the progressive grading system that we'll be discussing. Okay. Okay. So in order to form a grading, the switches having access to outgoing route are multiplied into a number of separate groups called as graded groups. So what we do is, in order to do this progressive grading, what we do is the switches having access to outgoing route are multiplied, okay, into number of separate groups, okay, number of separate groups, and such a process is called as such a groups are called as graded groups. Multiple group means there will be single groups. You just see over here in this figure, these are singles, these are multiplied groups. Fine. So what we are doing over here is, in order to form a grading, the switches having access to the outgoing route are multiplied into a number of separate groups known as graded groups. On these lines, on early choices, each group has access to individual trunks. You see over here, on the early basis over here, each of the trunk are separate from each other. Fine. So each group has access to individual trunks, and on a late choices, trunks are common. On the late choices, the trunks are common, meaning is we are connected two trunks together. This diagram shows, that is the above diagram that I shown just now, shows a small grading for only two groups of switches. In this, there are only two groups of switches. So this is a kind of grouping or grading that we do. For a larger number of outgoing trunks, gradings may contain 4 or more groups. Here we have done a grading for two groups. Now we will be doing, if a number of if you have a large number of trunks with us, then the gradings may vary from 2 to 4 or even more number of groups. Fine. Now the figure 2.5 shows the 4 group gradings. Okay, so 4 group grading will be seeing over here. Okay, so okay. So this is the figure which is showing 4 group gradings for 20 trunks available. Okay. So we have a 4 group gradings over here, in which we have 20 trunks in total. Fine. Just see, we have 3 different types of grading over here. In the first group, where there are 4 singles, then we have so many trunks being connected with each other, and 2 of the 4 trunks connected to each other. This is one type of grading. Another type of grading is, we have some 8 number of individual trunks, okay, then some 8 number of doubles, some 4 number of quadruples, we can say. And the third part of grading says that we have some 12 singles and 4 doubles, and 1 2 3 4 5 quadruples we have. So depending on our requirement, we'll be doing the grading. So that is what he's trying to say over here. The figure shows 4 group grading. Since the traffic decreases with later choices of outlet, the number of groups connected together increases from individual connections on early choices through a partial commons or doubles to full commons on the later choices. What he's trying to say is, initially the traffic will be more. So initially whatever switches they'll be having, they'll be busy in carrying the traffic. Okay, as the number of trunks increases, the traffic decreases. So we are doubles here, and if you go further, if you increase the number of trunks, further the traffic will be less. So we have quadruples over here. That is what he is trying to say. Fine. Okay. So switches hunt over the outlets sequentially from a home position. Switch will be having a switch, and switch will always start from its home position, that is 0. That is first trunk, second, third, fourth, like that. Sequence should be going from its home position. So that is why we get maximum traffic on the initial trunks, less traffic in the medium number of trunks, and very high, very less traffic on the trunks which are very far away from the home position. Fine. In designing a grading to provide access to n outgoing trunks from the switches having availability key, the first step to decide the number of graded groups G is given by n if all the choices were individual trunks. Okay, we have the first condition. If all the choices were individual trunks, then we would have n is equal to G into K. Meaning is, in this scenario we are not grouping. Okay, doubles will not be there, even quadruples will not be there. All the choices will be individual trunks. At that time, what we'll be having is n is equal to G into K. N is the number of trunks, G is the number of groups, and K is the availability. Fine. The second condition is, if all the choices were full commons, then we'll be having n is equal to K. And since the grading contains a mixture of individuals, partial commons, and full commons, that is what is shown over here. Grading will be having individuals, partial commons, and full commons, right? So what is trying to say is, then n, the number of trunks, will be lying between the availability K and G into K. That is the factor multiplied by number of groups and the availability. And the reasonable choice for n, that is number of trunks, is given by 1 by 2 times G into K. This is the reasonable choice for the number of trunks n, which is given by half of the G into K. And the traffic simulations have shown that the efficiency of such grading is near optimum. Okay, not best, we can say it is optimum. Okay, the number of groups thus chosen to be is equal to 1 by 2 times G of K. And if you simplify this, that is 2 times n is equal to G into K. And from this, if you want to write the G, then G is equal to number of groups, that is G is equal to 2 times n divided by K. Let us call this as equation 2.3. Since grading should be symmetrical, we cannot do single. See, individual trunks will be individuals only. If you want to do grading, we require minimum 2 or 4, not odd numbers. We require always even number. So G must be a even number. So the value of G given by the equation 2.3 is rounded up to the next even integer. Let us say if we get a G value as a 3, then 3, we cannot make a grading or a grouping by making use of odd number of trunks, right? So to the odd number 3, the nearest even number is 4. So G value, whatever we are getting, it will be rounded up to the next even integer. Okay, it is now necessary to decide how the GK trunks entering the grading are to be interconnected to n outgoing trunk. This is the major challenge now. Okay, it is now necessary to decide how the G into K trunks entering the grading are to be interconnected to the total n number of outgoing trunks that we have. Okay, now let us go further. For two group grading, there is only one solution. For a two group grading, there is only one solution. Whereas if the number of columns of singles is S, the number of commons is C, then availability is given by, and we represent availability by K is equal to number of singles S plus number of commons. So number of singles plus commons can give you the availability K. And the number of trunks is given by n is equal to 2 times S plus C, that is 2 times of singles plus commons. So that will be giving you number of trunks n, and number of singles is given by number of trunks minus availability, and number of commons is given by twice the availability minus number of trunks. Fine. If the gradings has more than two groups, if the gradings is having more than two groups, then will not be having unique solution. Okay, there will not be any unique solution because we can have n number of solutions, right? So it is necessary to choose from the possible solutions the best one, that is grading with the greatest traffic capacity will be chosen. Just see over here in this figure, we have in figure A we have this kind of connections. In figure B we have this kind of connections. In figure C we have this kind of connections. So depending on our requirement, whichever connections is best suitable, whichever connection is giving us the best traffic handling capacity, that we can consider for our application. That is what he is trying to say. Okay. Okay. So the traffic offered to the adjacent outlets will not differ greatly. What is saying is how to do grading. Okay. So based on these parameters, the first one is the traffic offered to the adjacent outlets will not differ greatly. So they should not be connected to very different sizes of common. This should be taken care. Next is there should thus be a smooth progression on the choices from individuals to partial commons and from smaller partial commons to the larger ones and from the partial commons to the full commons. So the care must be taken for the progression of the traffic from individual to partial commons to large commons, and from partial commons to even full commons as well. Okay, there should be a smooth progression. There should not be any haphazard progression of traffic so that we lose any of the calls. Fine. Next is the number of choices for each type in the group should therefore be nearly equal as possible. Whatever the choices that we make, they should be nearly equal. Okay, as much as possible, he is saying. This is achieved by minimizing the sum of successive differences between the number of choices of one type and those of the following type. Okay, so let G have Q factors. Let G means the number of groups have Q factors. Then F1 is less than F2, so on up to F less than F5, and F5 is less than FQ, where F1 is 1 and FQ is G. Fine. The least value of F1 will be 1 and maximum value of maximum factor FQ is equal to number of groups G. Let Ri be the number of choices that we are making having their incoming trunks connected as Fi tuples. Then we can write the equation form as summation of I is equal to 1 to Q of Ri is equal to Q. Let us call as equation 2.4. Now for each Fi tuple, we contain G by Fi outgoing trunks. Fine. And this equation simplifies to summation ranging from I equal to 1 to Q Ri into G divided by Fi, that is equal to availability K. This is equation 2.5. Since there are only two equations and more than two unknowns we have, fine, and if Q is greater than 2, there are a number of different solutions available for us ranging from R1, R2, so on up to R4, and these are rounded, and for each of the sum of successive difference D is given by modulus of R1 minus R2 plus modulus of R2 minus R3, so on up to modulus of RQ minus 1 minus RQ. Okay, so this will be giving you the successive differences between the gradings that we make. The best grading is thus having the smallest value of D. Whatever grading we do, if it is having the smallest value of D, that is differences, then that will be the best grading that is available. Fine. This is all about design of progressive grading. Now, we shall summarize this design of progressive grading. This is most commonly used grading methods. That is, step number 1 is find out the number of groups. So you have to first find out the number of group G by making use of number of trunks and availability. With this, you have to calculate the G value. That is step number 1. Step number 2 is find out the number of singles, doubles and quadruples required for your uh, design. And step number 3 is write the simultaneous equations for this. And step number 4 is single, doubles and quadruples are tabulated in the results table. We'll be making such a table. We'll be having serial numbers, number of singles, doubles, quadruples, and at last sum of the successive differences. Fine. Okay. So let us take one problem over here. It is asked once in question paper, previous year question paper, very important one. So design a grading for connecting 20 trunks to a switches having 10 outlets. So I repeat, design a grading for connecting 20 trunks, that is N, capital N is 20, to the switches having 10 outlets. Fine. So let us see the solution for this. The number of graded groups is given by equation 2.3. So where is the 2.3? It is over here. Equation 2.3 is this. G is equal to 2 times N by K, right? So using that equation, let us first calculate G value. That is number of groups, G. So it is equal to 2 times N by K. N is number of trunks is 20 and K is 10 over here. So 2 into 20 is 40 divided by 10 will be giving you 4. So therefore, the factors of G will be 1, 2 and 4. There cannot be any odd number, right? So factors of G will be 1, 2 and 4. Now, let the number of choices having singles be S, number of choices having doubles be D, and number of choices having quadruples be Q. And substituting these in equation 2.4, that is summation from I equal to 1 to Q, Ri is equal to K, then we'll get S plus D plus Q is equal to 10, and 4 times S, 2 times D and Q is equal to 20. Let us call this as equation 2. And how I written this 4, 2 and 4 times S, 2 times D and 1 times Q is by making use of these factors. Okay, 1, 2 and 4. Okay. Now let us do the simultaneous solution, simultaneously solving this equation. That is from, let us subtract equation 1 from 2, then we'll get the 3 times S plus D is equal to 10. Fine. So subtract this from this, we'll be getting 3 times S plus D is equal to 10, and substituting this in equation 2.5, that is summation from I equal to 1 to Q, Ri G into F divided by Fi is equal to K. Now if you take S value as 1 and if you take D as 7, S value as 1 and D as 7 if you take, then Q is equal to 10 minus 8. That is Q, from where we are getting this is from using this equation. Let us use this equation, equation number 1. You substitute S as 1 and D as 7. So 1 plus 7, S plus D, that is 1 plus 7 is 8. If you send that 8 that side, it will be Q is equal to 10 minus 8, you will be getting 2. If S is 2 and D is 4, then so 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 is sent to that side, 10 minus 4 is, sorry, 10 minus 6 is 4. Similarly, if S is 3 and D is 1, we'll be getting Q value as 6. Okay. And we are taking if S is equal to 4. If we take S value more than this 4 and D less than 1, it is not a possible option that we are having. So it is not possible. So we leave this. Okay. So thus there are 3 possible gradings which are shown in 3.16. This is what is referring to. So there are 3 possible gradings. Fine. The sums of the successive differences for these gradings respectively is given by, that is summation, so D is equal to modulus of R1 minus R2 plus modulus of R2 minus R3, so on up to RQ minus 1 minus RQ. So substitute over here, so we'll be getting D1 is equal to 7 minus 1 plus modulus of 2 minus 7. So 7 minus 1 will be giving you 6 and 2 minus 7 will be giving you minus 5 as they have modulus over here. So 6 plus 5 is equal to 11 we get. Similarly, D2 is equal to 2 we get. D3 is equal to 7 we get. The second grading shown in figure B. So just see over here, this difference is 11, this difference is 2, and this difference is 7. What you have said in the what we discussed just now is smaller the value of D. Just see here, the best grading is that having the smallest value of D we said, right? So in this problem, D1 is 11, D1 is 11, D2 is 2, and D3 is 7. So which is less over here? D1, D2, D3. If you compare these three values, D2 is having a lesser value. So the second grading is therefore the best possible option for us. That is what is shown over here. So this is the second one. This is the best option for us. That is what he's trying to say. Okay. So this is all about the progressive design of progressive grading. If you have any questions, any doubts to ask, do comment me back. Thank you.